And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies Beyond. I'm Callum. That's Kyle. It's Saturday. We shouldn't be recording, but we are because we've got some great news from Marvel Studios, some great trailers from Marvel Studios. Kyle's tired, but we're going to get through it, so don't worry about it. Kyle, this will be news to you. First things first, Kevin Feige was on stage. He was giving us some great news, and he says that Marvel Studios is now committed to release 2 films and 3 shows after the year of 2025. So that's good. They're kind of thinking this is where our quality control will be now. I think 2 films is good, which is what it was in 2015, leading up to, what was it, 2017 was the first year we got 3 films. So that's good. I like to see it going back to that. He's also said, Kevin Feige, they're not revealing any projects after 26 and 27, because he said we've got 2 Avengers films coming out. They're pretty big deals. We don't want to be, releasing anything after that, even though he says, although we have announced a Spider-Man film that's coming out in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Blade, he also says he's committed to getting Blade out there. He says they love Mahershala Ali's take on the character. I know, but I'm glad they're speaking about it. I know it's funny. And he says the character will reach the MCU. I think if they wasn't confident about it at this stage, they wouldn't be mentioning anything about it. So I'm kind of happy that they mentioned it, because if it were just radio silence like it was for Comic-Con and D23 in America, maybe it wouldn't have been, that was it for Blade. But no, it seems like Blade's happening for now. Also, he mentioned his stuff about the Scarlet Witch. He says, we've just had Agatha all along. He said that did really well for him. And he's excited to see how the Scarlet Witch can return. So, if anyone can do it, it's him. He also mentioned Miles Morales, which is kind of crazy, because we've never heard him talk about Miles Morales, at least I think. He says, look, Miles is going to be in that 3rd Spider-Verse film. But then he says they hope shortly after that they can introduce him into the MCU in live action. And then he also says, Kevin Feige, this is about the X-Men, there'll be important characters after Avengers Secret Wars. They're X-Men, which is what we kind of thought. So any takeaways from that, Kyle? Real quick.
Just a surprise that they Willie mentioned Miles. That's obviously very exciting and very promising that it's sort of on the horizon there. So that's where my excitement came from when this news dropped, which dropped like an hour ago.
Yep.
So I think that's the most exciting thing about it for me. And I just think it's funny, the whole Blade situation now, where I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Talking about Blade, but it's not going anywhere. It's still the same.
Well, I think they wouldn't have mentioned it if they wasn't happy. They seem like they've got a plan for Blade now. Seems like they've got a plan. I'm not saying they do, but
we'll have to. The good old saying for Blade is we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'll believe I'm seeing Blade. In fact, I'll believe I've seen Blade once the credits start rolling on the film.
Yes. Yeah.
Not even when I'm sitting down to watch it.
Once I've seen the post-credit scene, then I'll be
definitely.
Like, yeah.
Oh, right. Anyway, that's some great news, obviously. Elizabeth Olsen we're talking this week about coming back. Now, Kevin Feige's talking about her coming back. I think she's going to have a pretty big role that we don't know about just yet. But anyway, first trailer. Kind of trailer? Special look, they called it, but it was definitely a trailer. It had like a scene at the beginning of it. Thunderbolts. I feel like we felt walking out of Deadpool and Wolverine, and then we had the Comic-Con panel with the RDJ news. I've got that big Marvel rush going through me all of a sudden, and I'm thinking, we are so back. The scene at the beginning, I'm assuming it's Red Guardian's limo, with the stripper music in it. I thought that were funny. All the character interactions, Winter Soldier and Red Guardian ones especially, where he's like, what type of super soldier serum did you get? He's like, Hydra. I don't know. Hydra is like, oh, fancy. And Yelena and Ghost just giving John Walker shit, saying he's the discount store Captain America or something. He's like, I actually was the official Captain America. And it's like, yeah, for 2 seconds. I've just loved this trailer. I loved it. If I didn't love both of these trailers, I'm sorry, spoilers for the next topic. If I didn't love both of these trailers, we won't be recording tonight. Kyle, what did you think of them?
Spoilers for the next topic as well. I prefer this trailer, and I'm kind of preferring this film a little bit more over.
I think we said it when the Thunderbolts trailer
Thor.
came out, like the first Thunderbolts trailer came out. This is my most anticipated Marvel film for 2025 now.
And that's not to say the Cap 4 thing isn't exciting, but going into this, it looks fresh, man. It looks new.
Yes.
It looks different. It's got a very, I don't know, it's got like a unique tone to it. It's not gimmicky. It's very much like these are just these characters, and they're just interacting with each other in this world. You know, Bucky's there, and it's nice to see all these characters sort of like
I love
together, combined.
Yeah, I love the juxtaposition of. So obviously it's confirmed that Val bought Avengers Tower in this trailer. I love the juxtaposition of it, of the Avengers fought on top of that bridge, you know, during the Avengers, but because the Thunderbolts are more underground, they're fighting under that bridge.
Yeah.
And it just was like, oh, that's so cool. Just a
that
Marvel
too, and I was
nerd.
like-
Just a Marvel nerd will see that and be like, that's so fucking cool and meta.
Yeah, it's definitely it was definitely a treat. So yeah, I love this trailer. Well, it's a special look really, but special look / trailer. I'm really looking forward to this now, and I'm so excited. Originally, when I heard about the Thunderbolts, you know, going back to it, I wasn't too excited. I was excited to see the characters again, but I wasn't too sure about, you know, what the plot is or anything like that. I'm interested now. I'm interested in where this is going to go, because, you know, they could have just taken some easy routes with this. They could have just released the film and it probably were bad. But, you know, they've really taken their time with it by the looks of it. And it looks unique, Colin. It looks very different.
I'm getting
and so
Guardians
does,
of the Galaxy vibes as well.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit. It's kind of just like I don't really know. It doesn't feel Marvel in a weird way. It does and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, it's got that humor tone to it, which Marvel are known for, whether you love it or hate it. I personally think it's pretty good. But the aesthetic of it and the way they shoot it and things like that, it looks really good and really awesome. It looks sort of like grounded, and, you know, there's not a overcumbrance of CGI and things like that. It looks very practical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not. I won't lie, it probably isn't. But man, they managed to get that tone right, and I'm really looking forward to this
You
one.
can even tell from this special look here. Like, I was a bit unsure about it from the first trailer. It's like, how will the characters work well together? Who's going to have like the best interactions? You can see that now in this. You can see, oh, these guys are going to work pretty well together. One thing I'm glad they did, they held off on Sentry. They've still got, what, 7 months before the film comes out? Which is crazy to say that we've got, what is it, 7-8 months, you know, Cap's in like 4 months. So it's coming around quicker than we think. I'm glad they held off on the Sentry. They didn't have to blow the load with that right away. So, yeah, and I love like they give you that character rundown as well, of like, so you kind of know the pecking order of it. With John Walker, obviously it starts with Yelena. We knew Yelena were going to be the lead in this anyway. But yeah, I'm like you, it looks fresh, it looks exciting, and I am pumped, and this is still my most anticipated Marvel film of 2025. Maybe we'll be let down, but right now I'm thinking we are so fucking back. And maybe I'm an idiot for saying that, and maybe you'll be able to clip that at the end of 2025 and go, look at this fucking idiot.
If that's true, then, you know, maybe the Avengers films will turn out still great, but it's just like, oh man, the build up to it fucking sucked.
But the one thing I like about Thunderbolts... Sorry.
Sorry, I just want to say, I hope that Marvel have turned a course here and they've corrected things, which it looks like they have. But again, we will have to wait and see. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine, as much as I love that film, it's not really like
the savior of Marvel. It's not the savior of Marvel. It was its own thing.
It's not. Yeah.
The big test is
It's
Captain
so
America 4 and Born Again. And
yeah.
this as well. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say that it's, you know, we mentioned the Marvel course correction, and that really did come in with Captain America 4 and Daredevil Born Again. This was already written and in good standing before all the changes, and this actually didn't go through many changes during, you know, them redoing things. The majority of changes this went through was before the writer's strike, when the writer for this was leaning more into the Black Widow characters and will make it more of a sequel to Black Widow, which it is. It's got them characters in, but it's, you know, also a sequel to Falcon and Winter Soldier and Ant-Man and the Wasp, funny enough, and probably going to tie very closely to Captain America 4 as well, because Alexi's like, we're the thunderbolts, and it's like, don't call us that. So I'd love to know why they're like, don't call us that, probably because that president turned into a big giant red Hulk. So yeah, anyway, shall we get on to that? So we got a new trailer for Captain America 4. This one was a trailer, not a special look. It was about 2.5 minutes. And is it just me? Did this trailer look, and not in a bad way, did this trailer look a little bit grainy?
It very much looked very grainy.
Like,
I thought when I first initially watched it, I thought, is my quality down on YouTube? And I checked my quality, and I was like, I was watching it on my phone at first, and then obviously I came on here and I watched it on the big screen, and I'm like, right, I'll crank that up, turn it up full, and I'm like, yeah, it's really grainy, which,
yeah,
you know, I'm not saying it looks bad, I'm sure it'll look fine on the big screen, but I was like,
stylistic choice.
A stylistic choice, but I think you'll agree with me here, there's just something off about it. It feels very...
Doesn't
I don't
mesh
wanna
well with
say
the CG elements, does it?
Yeah, it feels a little bit, you know, like how Iron Man did it really well because a lot of the stuff was, it was CGI, but there was practical elements there too. This is going to use a lot of CGI, and, you know, we've come a long way for CGI, and some would say we've kind of gone backwards on it, but it does look a little odd.
And I don't want to shit on the CGI on this. I think one thing they've done well, I don't know if you'll agree with me, I think Red Hulk looks pretty good from what we've seen now, a full proper look. And, you know, I started watching the trailer on my tablet, and you've seen my tablet in person, you know how good quality on screen is that. And when I first put it on, I was like, why is this so fucking grainy? But I suppose they're going with that Winter Soldier vibe, and they're leaning more into it, more than Winter Soldier did, with this political thriller aspect of it, which you get a big sense of that in this trailer. You know, everything we see Sam doing, which, watching this trailer, is like, that is why I wanted Sam to be Captain America. Because if it was Bucky, I love Bucky, and for a long time I wanted Bucky to be Captain America. But only watching this trailer you understand is, they can do so much more different stuff. Because if it were Bucky, it'd be more of the same. Running, throwing the shield, super soldier serum, all that, which is fun and great to see. But let's see some good stuff, like him bouncing the shield off the fucking rockets. As unbelievable as that is, you know, we've seen him train with that shield and get the hang of it, and then just flies headfirst into one with wings and shield.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, obviously he doesn't have any sort of super soldier serum.
Yeah.
And with the serum, obviously, as you will, you know, we all know, the serum doesn't only just enhance you, you know, your capabilities, your strength, your speed, whatever, agility and all that, but it actually increases your perception, you know, so you perceive things not in slow motion, but you're able to perceive things a lot faster. That's why Cap was so great at throwing the shield and being as accurate as he was. So
I don't mind if he's got like a targeting thing in his visor.
Yeah, if that's the case, I think that's a bit more plausible, just him having a bit more of the tech side, but at the same time, you know, he's shown us at the end at least a tidbit why he can run the shield with the wings, with the vibranium suit. There's one thing though I want to mention. I think everything looked really good in the trailer, especially towards the end when he sort of does that weird kickflip.
Oh yeah,
in the car. That's going to look amazing in the cinemas. There is one thing though, Callum, and I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm like, you could have just fixed this one little thing. It's when he's doing a dive bomb and he lands, and the way he lands is so weird and janky.
Weird.
it looks, it looks like he's literally behind, he's probably behind a green screen there, and he's probably jumped off a block or something like
Yeah.
that. But it's just the pose. It looks
Came
so
down a
janky.
bit too fast.
Yeah, he came down way too fast,
But
and he landed like he was
then again,
jumping
if
off
he's
of
got a
2 feet.
if he's got a vibranium suit, that'll absorb all the impact. But it still looked a bit dumb.
It's still, I mean, they could have given it some impact because,
Yeah.
maybe, he would have absorbed it and it wouldn't have hurt him, but it definitely would have cracked the ground. I mean, he was
Yeah.
dive bombing. He wasn't going, he wasn't swerving down or
He was like, "Why are you coming
falling.
fast?
He was
Why are you
full on.
coming fast?"
He was. So I like the effect though, where it seemed like I don't know if that was it, but
Like a
it seemed
sonic
like the
boom.
effect, yeah,
I think
kind of
maybe
landed
that
on the
might be
ground
the
and pushed them back.
wings in the final film. No, they were a bit too far out for that, weren't they?
I don't know.
You
You're
don't-
the cap guy.
Yeah. Now look, even Kyle will tell you. I tell you every chance I get. I am the biggest Captain America fan in the world. I love Sam as Captain America. But even after this trailer, Thunderbolts is still probably my most anticipated Marvel film of 2025. And I love this trailer. It showed me a lot of good stuff. Obviously, I love what's going on with Isaiah Bradley and the sleeper agent stuff. The leader. Finally, after... what? How many years? 2008 we last saw the leader. And we thought, that's something we're never going to see again. And Tim Blake Nelson's back. So I'm really happy with this. I love the new suit. Joaquin Torres looks great alongside him. I'm glad we're going to get some of that element of Cap's out of his suit and he's showing us what he can do as well. And just going from the poster's a picture of Hulk punching Sam in the shield, and people are thinking, well, how can he tech that? Well, we know from Falcon and Winter Soldier, obviously, Carly, who's definitely not as strong as a Hulk, but he's got a countermeasure to that. She went to punch down on shield, and the wings just deployed at the back, didn't they? To stick into the ground, to hold him there. So I think we're going to see some stuff like that. And he's got two red wings by the looks of it, which were pretty cool, behind him. I'm just so pumped.
It was a strong trailer. I don't think it topped the last one. I still think the last one's a little bit better for me.
The fast pace and the sort of one at last.
Sort of, yeah. It just, again, it's just that, and I don't want to ponder on it too much because the other bits did look pretty good, but just that landing was like, Jesus, like that's bad.
Yeah, that landing,
bad.
but then you compare that landing to that flip.
Yeah.
That flip was pretty cool when he cuts the car in half. It's like, yo, how sharp are them fucking wings?
Yeah, but I'm excited anyways. I'm looking forward to it.
Red Hulk looks great. I like that line as well. Like, are they supposed to be green? Because obviously we've got a couple of Hulks in this world now. We've got She-Hulk, Hulk, Abomination. People usually think, oh, they go green when that shit happens. But, Harrison Ford, he can't do no wrong. And he's been praising the MCU as well. And, talking about other actors shitting on it. So, question I'm going to leave people with, Kyle, is, and we won't know until we see these films, is the MCU back?
We won't know till these films are out.
We won't know, but do you feel like we're heading in the right direction?
Just because we know some stuff about that goes on behind the scenes, and we've listened and we've watched and we've waited. I think so. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, it feels good to be a Marvel fan again. Because we went through that era. Just a year ago, Kyle. Just a year ago, the Marvels came out. Round about a year ago. I remember walking out of that film, and it was the first Marvel film, like MCU film, I hated. It was the first MCU film I hated. Quantumania came out that year. I was like, yeah, it wasn't great, or all like that. I know you prefer the Marvels over Quantumania.
Yeah.
But that was because up until that point, the only thing I had ever hated in the MCU was one episode of She-Hulk. And then every other episode was like, yeah, we're alright. There was only one episode of She-Hulk that I hated. and then that was the first film that I hated, and I'd never had that before. But I feel like we're back. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine in the eyes of the, general going movie audience is a win for Marvel. And it's like, I want to see the next Marvel thing. That's this. Well, obviously we've had a couple of Sony Marvel projects, but hopefully they ain't tainted it too much. But yeah, so Kyle, let's just check. I'm going to check before we go, because if there's a Daredevil Born Again trailer, I'll have to jump back on. I don't think there is. Yep, nothing for Daredevil Born Again, which is disappointing, but you never know. That might be tomorrow. They might be doing TV tomorrow. I don't fucking know. I've just seen these comments and stuff and these trailers. But yeah, right, guys. Thanks for watching. Give a special thanks to Kyle, please, for jumping on and recording with us tonight, because he was in bed and he was cozy and he looked so cute and warm, but we got him out of bed to record.
Yes.
Say bye, Kyle.
No.
Good night. That's what I'll say. That's why you say bye, Kyle, because it'd be funny. So we'll run that again. Say bye, Kyle. See you later, guys. Kyle's tired.